Hey, this is Brian Rogers from the BBK Performance R&D and Technical Support Departments to show you how to add even more horsepower and torque to the already monstrous 2011 Mustang GT 5.0 with the installation of our tuned mid-length headers and Aftermarket X-pipe. As with all product installations, start by disconnecting the negative battery terminal. Then unbolt and remove the strut tower brace if applicable, and remove the decorative engine cover and induction system. Carefully unplug the mass air meter and lift the airbox out of the car. Now you can unbolt the factory exhaust manifolds from the engine. Some of the nuts can be accessed from under the hood, while others will need to be accessed from under the car. Use long extensions to reach the outboard collector bolts from under the hood, then loosen and remove the top nuts for the motor mounts. Working underneath the car, loosen the 4 tube clamp nuts where the H-pipe meets the tailpipes. Then remove the inboard collector bolts. Remove the crossbar if applicable. And now you can pull the mid-pipe down and remove it from the work area. Remove the heat shields to allow access to unplug the oxygen sensor connections, and unbolt the front of the inspection cover and let it hang down. Now we'll start on the driver's side. Remove the bottom bolt on the steering shaft. Under the hood, remove the top bolt for the steering shaft. You may need to turn the wheel just a little bit to get at it with long extensions. Then, under the dash, simply pull back on the steering column about 2 inches, and this will allow you to remove the shaft completely from underneath the car. With a solid block of wood between your jack and the transmission fins, carefully lift the engine about 4 to 5 inches, and never jack under the oil pan. Now you can unbolt and remove the motor mounts to gain access to all of the header bolts. With all the bolts removed, remove the exhaust manifold and gaskets. Inspect the BBK headers and determine which mounting studs will be too long and need to be replaced with the supplied bolts. In total, only 5 studs will need to be replaced on the entire engine for this installation. Now you can place the gasket into position and hang the BBK header over the remaining studs. Once you've tightened all the nuts and bolts and secured the header to the head, you can reinstall the motor mount and lower the engine down. When reinstalling the steering shaft, it may be beneficial to have someone help you by pushing the steering column back out of the firewall while you guide the shaft over it, although it is doable by one person. Moving on to the passenger side, remove the 3 bolts that secure the starter and unbolt the 2 wires that attach to it. Be sure that your negative battery terminal is disconnected before performing this step. Remove the motor mount, taking note of the ground wire that attaches to it. Unbolt and remove the exhaust manifold and gasket, then install the BBK header using the supplied gasket. Now you can reinstall the motor mount and the starter. Transfer the oxygen sensors from the stock exhaust manifolds to the BBK headers and snap them into the wiring harnesses. Then reinstall the heat shields. Moving on to the BBK Aftermarket X-pipe installation, unbolt and separate the converter sections from the mid-pipe. Then, install and tighten the converter sections using the supplied gaskets to the backside of the headers. Reinstall the cross brace if applicable. You'll need to reuse the clamps from the stock mid-pipe by cutting the keeper tabs off. Then, simply place them on the ends of the converter sections and substitute the BBK Aftermarket X-pipe for the stock H section. Now you can reconnect the battery terminal, reassemble the airbox, install the decorative cover, and if you have a strut tower brace, you can put that back on too. Let's check out the dyno results from these parts. Well, there you have it. BBK's 2011 Mustang GT 5.0 headers and Aftermarket X-pipe provide a solid horsepower and torque gain all the way across the RPM range and offer a nice gain at the peak as well. For more information on this or any of the hundreds of parts that BBK makes for late model cars and trucks, check out bbkperformance.com, where you can search for parts directly for your vehicle or search by product category. At bbkperformance.com, you can also watch fun and informative product detail and installation videos or download instruction sheets. If you're looking for a local distributor in your area, you can find that on our website too with our dealer locator. bbkperformance.com even has a library of magazine articles from years of independent testing for you to review. And while you're there, don't forget to check out the BBK homepage and blog to see what's new. Thanks for watching.